Alright, today we're going to be using our knowledge of conversions and both measurement systems to solve multi-step dimensional analysis problems involving velocity. So our setup is going to be very similar to what we've done in the past videos, only this time we're going to be having two different starting units. And we're trying to get rid of those two starting units to convert them into two new units. So as you can see, my starting unit at its diagonal, we're going to try to cancel that out. And then for the bottom same unit, we're going to try to cancel it with its diagonal toward the top. Okay. So you need to go back to the standard measurement system. Again, if you need to pause this video at any time, please do that. Remember, the standard measurement system was what we had written down. You will also need the metric system. Okay. You will need your list of standard to metric and metric to standard. So this is one of the sheets that I showed in my last video. Okay. And the new thing we are incorporating this time is time. So all of us know time, but in case you don't know, we're going to be able to convert seconds to minutes, minutes to hours, hours to days, days to weeks, and weeks to years. Okay, so these are common time conversions. Okay, so let's get started. We want to always ask ourselves the question, well, what are we trying to convert? Okay, and you'll see in our initial fraction, what are the things we're going to try to convert and what do we want to convert them into, okay? And then what relationships do we need to get us there, okay? So with our first example, we want to convert 59 miles per hour into kilometers per minute, okay? Now to simplify this process, we're going to abbreviate these so that we know what we're doing, okay? So miles was MI, hour is HR, kilometers is KM, and minutes we're going to abbreviate MIN. Okay? So we're going to be setting this up in the same way that we did before. Okay? That means that we're going to start with our fraction. Okay? And this time I'm going to have 3. Sometimes we can have 4 or 5, depending on what relationships we need, okay? So let's write down what we're starting off with. We're starting off with 59 miles per 1 hour. So on the top, I'm going to write 59 miles per 1 hour, okay? Now we want to convert these into something new, which would be the kilometers per minute, okay? Now this can become very overwhelming. We want to take this step by step. So first thing we want to do is tackle your miles to kilometers. Let's find the relationships between those two first. Okay? So I want you to tackle your miles and kilometers first. Okay? So think about it. Is that standard to metric? Is that metric to standard? Is it just standard or is it just metric? So miles to kilometers. I can't find a relationship between miles and kilometers in my standard measurement system. If I try looking into the metric system for miles and kilometers, I can't find anything here either. Now I'm going to go check to see if I can find a relationship between miles and kilometers here. I found kilometers and I found miles. Perfect. So I'm going to use this relationship to help me convert, okay? So I'm going to write that down very quickly here. I have, let me move this here for a little bit, 1 kilometer is equal to 0.62137 miles. Okay? Perfect. Okay? I'm going to highlight that in orange right now. So for miles, I have miles here on the bottom, and I have kilometers on the top because kilometers is the new thing I wanted. Okay. Now I want to tackle the second units, hours to minutes. So let's go to time because I know that's neither standard metric or center to metric. So in time, can I find a relationship between hours and minutes? So it looks like I have a relationship here between hours and minutes. Perfect, so I'm going to write that down. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay? And I'm going to highlight hour and minute in yellow. Okay? Now, hour is on the bottom, and if I want to get rid of it, hour has to now be on the top. So I need to write my label hour on the top. And what I want on the bottom is my minutes. So I'm going to write MIN here on the bottom. Please be careful, do not confuse MI and MIN. MI is miles, MIN is minutes. All right, so I know that in this first fraction, I'm going to be writing down the stuff that I have in orange, which is my relationship between miles and kilometers. And in this second fraction, I'm going to be writing in the relationship between hours and minutes. So 1 kilometer, that number goes on the top, is equal to 0.62137 miles. So I'm going to write that down and squeeze it in. So 0.62137. And now the relationship between hours and minutes. I have 1 hour, which will be on the top. And now that is equal to 60 minutes. Okay. Now I can, with confidence, cancel out miles. And I want to get rid of hours. So hours, if I look for the label, hours should be at the diagonal. Okay? So ultimately, we're looking for kilometers over minutes. Those are our new units now. Okay? So, just like before, you're going to multiply straight through. And when we multiply 59 times 1 times 1, we're going to end up getting a 59 on the top. And then we're going to write down 1 times 0.62137 times 60. So with your calculator, go on ahead and multiply that. Okay, so we got that 1 times 60 times 0.62137. And that's going to give me a 37.2822. Okay. Now let's divide those two. If I take my calculator and I'm going to divide 59 by 37.2822, I end up getting 1.582524636, which is insanely large. Too many numbers. So, just like before, please round your answer to the nearest tenth. So remember, the nearest tenth means that I want one number after the decimal. That means I need to look at the neighbor. My neighbor is the 8, so that means I get to bump it up 1. So my final answer here is 1.6, and I have to now use the new units, which is kilometers per minute. So kilometers per minute.